Uganda Yancha.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's always a privilege and honor, and of course in this COVID-19 era a lot has happened, and of course when it comes to interviews they're now restricted to wearing masks, but well, it's been a wonderful situation on Uganda Yancha, where we've had a couple of interviews, and I'm still promising and actually pledging that I will be bringing you more of the interviews. And now I'm going to be giving you a series of those in regards to education, and I'm going to be speaking Gayaza High School. Now the old students, I know you can comfortably sit, concentrate, and of course authoritatively enjoy these ones. I will be discussing a few and a lot of issues in regards to Gayaza High School, and in line with Ann Cutler, may she rest in peace. As we speak, she played a good and great role at Gayaza High School. So what makes Gayaza High School so different compared actually to my latter Chitate School? I guess all Obis and Ogis, you get this one right. So Gayaza High School, we are in your lane. We are going to be giving you Dr. Maggie Kigozi, and even the first black headmistress of Gayaza High School. We are going to be rubbing shoulders. We'll discuss how they played their roles at Gayaza High School, how Miss Ann Cutler, the late, and right now, how she did play that to the education sector, and how they did vary with the situations and the conditions, and how ready are they, these old girls and now big ladies and women, how are they going to be adopting and changing with the situation in the post-COVID-19 era. So join me. My name is Moses Wamala, but for now, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and enjoy this series, Gayaza High School. I got you.
Oh dear, this is the worst thing that has ever happened to Uganda in my life.
In your life?
In my life, I have never seen anything like it, where we all come to a standstill, and we are in lockdown. The schools are closed. The floods are there, the locusts are there. I hear there's cholera in Karamoja. What is happening? A lot is happening, and it's very scary.
Would you love at least God to take back 2020?
I think the experience is good. It has taught us something.
Okay.
It has made us see those we thought were well, were rich. They are crying, even more than us. They are dying, even more than us. So it is the equalizer. It has made us all equal. And I think in the end, it may not be a bad thing. I joined Gayaza High School in 1964 and met my senior one, our teacher, Miss Ann Cutler. She was a tough lady. She was very young, because she then went on to teach at Gayaza for 40 years. And when she went back to the UK, she passed away 2 weeks ago, recently, after a very good life. So Gayaza was a beautiful school. There were a few of us. We were not the huge numbers that you have now. They were very select. It was made up of all tribes in Uganda. We had people from the east, the north, the west, and definitely from central. We were all there. Plus a few people from other countries as well. Occasionally they would come in. We had teachers, Miss Cutler, the headmistress, who are with the missionaries, CMS. And so Namirembe is in charge of Gayaza High School. So it was an experience for me, who had been in day school in primary, to go find myself in a boarding school. But it was a very nice boarding school. The girls were very nice, the teachers were nice, and actually the food was very nice, yes. She was exceptional with her love for sport. Her love for sport, and also her knowledge about it, and enabling the girls to excel in whichever sport they chose to be interested in. She was able to choose the winners, the ones who would be really, really good, and find sports for them. She would then find the best coach in Uganda. We had the best coaches. We had the national team athletics coach training us in Gayaza for athletics. When I came from Aga Khan, I used to run and I used to do high jump. So I thought I could do it at Gayaza. But when the coach came, he didn't want us jumping just anyhow. There's this style of high jump where you slide over on your back and then fall on your back on the ground. So that's what he wanted us to do. For me, that was the end of my life in high jump. I was not about to bash my back on the ground after jumping. So for me, that was the end. But for tennis, she found us the best coach, who was a lady, Mrs. Arnold, at Namulonge. She was the Ugandan top lady tennis player. So she would take us to Namulonge every week to be coached. She would take swimmers also to Namulonge. There was somebody there to teach swimming. So she found very, very good coaches for her girls in all the various sports that were available at Gayaza, and there were many. We did hockey, we did netball, we did rounders, we did table tennis. Nowadays they do, even cricket and rugby and, all kinds of other sports, yes. Ann Cutler was caring. She gave her all. So she would try her best at for all of us, for all the various, very different students that she had. She'd find out, she'd take the time to find out which sport is going to be best for you. So we had very good badminton players. When there was a coach in town, for example, we had a Chinese table tennis coach that President Amin negotiated with China to send here for 6 months. He would go to Gayaza and train the girls, and actually they became very, very good. So the national team was very strong, and it continues to be strong. So she was making it possible for that to happen. She would buy the necessary equipment and make it available. Actually, when you are leaving the school, like when I left, she gave me a tennis racket and balls. Because she knew I could not go home and tell my parents, all of us actually, the Gayaza girls in general, could not go home and ask for an expensive tennis racket and expect your parents to buy it for you. So she gave you one to go away with so that you maintain all the coaching that she had given you. She was very, very Christian. She used to teach us Bible studies. So we learned the Bible inside out. For me as an individual, if I hadn't gone to Gayaza, I would have missed out on the religion part. Because my parents, one was Anglican, the other one was Catholic. And there was always this little struggle in the home as to, where we should be going. So most of the times they gave up on religion. So in that way, she brought religion in a way that is interesting. The stories in the Bible were made exciting, and it enabled us to come to life and be able to live a Christian life without even thinking about it. You make your decisions, you are ethical, you are reliable, you keep time. All those things I picked up from Miss Cutler and her shouting at me when I did not. I think again, a good example is she did something called country dancing. At 6:30 in the morning, we would be woken up and have to rush and go and do country dancing, the European country dancing. And the girls loved it. Many, many girls really enjoyed it. But I didn't. And she could see that. So, she knew I would rather, the tennis court was just across. She knew I would rather go to the tennis court. So she says, you dance like an elephant, Maggie. Take Gertrude, take Bessie, go and play tennis. You know, and it sounds like I'm giving you a punishment to go and play tennis, but actually she's making you very, very happy, taking you away from this dancing, which some of us found very boring, others loved, and sending you off to play your tennis. So in that way, she knew each and every one of us deeply, and would try to give you what it is that you should be doing, yes. Yes, actually, I must say I did not know that. Maybe because I was there when she had herself just come. She was very young. She came to school, I think, in the early 60s. I came in 61. I came in 64. So maybe she hadn't, that talent had not grown to the extent that the other girls are telling you about it. But definitely she knew all of us by name. She knew our characters. She would laugh at you. One of the punishments they used to give me when I did many naughty things, but when I did, was to build a new tennis court. So, and it would be near her house, so she would be walking past and, she would say, "Now, why are you here today, Maggie? What have you done?" And then you tell her, and you can see her laughing all the way as she's going. But then just to be, many years later, now we came back, first we've been away, we came back, those courts were upgraded. She found money for them to be upgraded. And they named the court after me. The one I used to build with punishments is now called the Maggie Blick, not Kigozi, my first name, maiden name. So it's called Maggie Blick Court. So you can see that kind of person, because she used to find me there every now and then with a hoe working on the tennis court. Yes, that was one of the things. Early morning shower straight away. Very cold shower, but we were okay with that. And then you dress up and off you go to do your work. And you were expected to attend lessons when lessons were due. Yes, so we do owe that aspect of our lives to Gayaza High School, definitely. She may have found me with that. I think I take after my father, who was he was a nice person and very caring. So I think I took after my dad. My mother was very strong and very hardworking. So probably I took less of her, but a little bit of her as well. But yes, Miss Cutler, really, for the 4 years I was at Gayaza, she was, our hero. She was the one we looked up to and the one we followed. And now that she's gone, we really want her to rest in peace. She did her part. No. I need more from life. I needed to have a family, which I do have. I have children, I have grandchildren. She was able to offer everything to Gayaza High School. Yeah, I don't think I could have done that. I needed something more out of my life. But I must say, I was a beneficiary of that, of her lifestyle. But I could not have been like her. Yes, Miss Cutler was the PE teacher mainly. She also had a class. The first senior 1 class is senior 1, yes, where we all started in the first year. And so she had a lot of impact on our lives, a lot of guidance. She was also the religious knowledge teacher. We learned the Bible in her hands from top, the whole Bible. We actually went through the whole thing, knew all the stories. We found it interesting because she made it interesting. Bible studies sometimes could have been boring, but they were not. They were very, very interesting. She also ran the Christian club at the school. And what I loved about Gayaza, is the acceptance of other religions. We had girls who were Muslims. We had girls who were Catholic. They never tried to change them. They accepted that on Friday, the mosque is just, we had a mosque in the nearby town. The mosque is over there. Make sure the girls go safely to pray and are able to come home. The Catholics, there was a Catholic church that would be allowed. And I think for us it was really a good experience to grow up with these girls and understand that actually they are just girls like we are, and not have this sometimes hatred you see, interreligious hatred between religions. So again, Gayaza, I remember in Christian Union, she was able to invite Honorable Abu Mayanja to come and tell us about the Muslim religion, explain the Quran to us. And that was, I thought it was really, really nice to bring up a balanced girl, a girl who respects other people and is not intolerant of other religions. So that was another thing that I admired about Miss Ann Cutler and Gayaza High School as a whole. Yes, when we were there, she was a Christian. She had come as a missionary. So when we met her, yes, she was fun, she was young. As the years went by, she became saved and therefore more staunch and more Christian. And so the younger generation saw a different Miss Cutler. The one we saw was flexible, she was fun. But the younger ones will tell you more. I was not there, so I don't know. But for us, she definitely gave us the ethics, the strong principles, Christian principles. And for me, these are the ones that take me through life. Yeah, I know. Then she gave us sports. Now, sports, what does that give you? That gives you strength. You are fit. You are stronger. I mean, I'm a girl, so we were stronger than most other girls who did not do sports. Then it makes you competitive. You want to do well. You want to win. You want to win. But not only do you want to win, you also recognize that you don't have to win. You can lose, and that is okay. So we also learned to lose. I think you see among the politicians in our country where if I lose, I go to court. Because I cannot lose, I am just invincible. Now we grew up knowing that, yes, today I'll win the tennis match, next week I'll probably lose, and it's okay to lose. So that was another one that we get. You learn to concentrate. Sports teaches you to watch the ball. Now you watch the ball in the same way you get to life. You watch the important things, you focus, you concentrate. That's another thing you learn from sports, and I was really happy to have been able to get all those skills. The last one, not the last one, but one of them is the networks. Gayaza gave you an incredible network. So we had networks among ourselves, the girls, and it continues to date. If a senior one entrant meets me and tells me I'm from Gayaza, already we have a relationship. She is my muzukulu maybe, but she's there. She's Gayaza like me. And it helps us, every office you walk into, it's a Gayaza girl. Yeah. So anything, I need an appointment with somebody, I call her. She'll make an appointment for me. So that's an incredible network that you get at Gayaza High School. On top of what the sports then gives you, because I play tennis. That gives me networks with the men as well. So those are some of the things that we benefited. Now that climbing, we spent 3 weeks there, being trained how to climb. You needed to be very fit, climb the mountain. Secondly, you learned to swim, you learned to climb rocks, to go down rocks, to build your own house and sleep alone. You learned how to read a compass. We went to the game park, used the compass to find our way. We managed to get lost and go in exactly the opposite direction. in a game park with lions and elephants and everything, but we did. So we learnt about first aid, St. John's. So with all those skills, you know, you come out of there and yes, you can do anything. And that is another one that I'm so totally grateful. We also, at our school, we had got all the tribes in Uganda. My roommates were from Busoga, were from Gulu, Buganda. Of course, I'm from Buganda too. And Barara, we were all in the room. And so we even knew all the languages. I can hear all the languages people speak because of that time. Now we went to East African community, and there were Tanzanians and Kenyans. That was another opportunity to realize that the world, they are no different from us. They are girls. And they are Kenyans and they are Tanzanians. So there's nothing like peace to be found in this region because of what we went through very early on in life. And I wish more people could actually be able to attend the Outward Bound Mountain School. We were lucky to have a beautiful library with very many books. So we had those books for young people, and I think by the end of the second year, I had read every book in that library. All about wolves and about animals and about love stories. We had read them all, and so that was, not everybody gets that opportunity to have this huge amount of books in our library. Yeah. And yes, Miss Cutler and the other teachers. She wasn't the one teaching literature. We had a Miss Warren who taught us that. We had a Miss Hobday who taught us music. And then in music again, they brought us the best Chiganda coach. Mr. Muyinda used to train I think what they called the Uganda, not cranes. They were called, I don't know, but it was the cultural troupe of Uganda. And he was the one that was brought to teach us. I can do Chiganda dance, and drumming and whatever, singing in both Ugandan but also all the other tribes, similar to, I think, what Ndere troupe does. So that was another thing that made us feel Ugandan. Yeah, I can dance, yes. We are doing that as a group, which will make it much more interesting, because I have my stories, but the other girls have their stories. So we're going to pick the most interesting, and together we plan to have, post-COVID, at the school, a church service in remembrance of Miss Cutler. We are having one online, a scientific one, next Friday the 12th of June. At Namirembe, just for a few people. You are not allowed in because of COVID. So it's just for a few people, but it will be online. And I hope Delta TV will also be able to show it. And then, but that will be a scientific one. We are hoping to have, a real one. Post-COVID, when the girls are back at school and we can try out all the sports that she loved, bring back the old girls as well to play, have the young girls playing, and so that would be very exciting. Yes, well, I think first of all they picked some of the brightest girls, so we were there. I remember Miss Cox. If the girl they invited, somebody, yeah, she was the headmistress at my time. One of the girls they had invited from Western Uganda did not come. She actually got into the car and went to find her. She had been put in Weranyange and picked her from there and brought her. She had even missed her whole term. But that's how they picked the cream from the whole country. So first of all, they would pick girls who were likely to succeed. And it wasn't about family or money, no, because at that time the fees were really minimal. They are not that it wasn't heavy. So they would pick girls, and some of them would be paid for scholarships. It was a government school, of course. And then on the way, we would get the religion, we would get, like the 10 Commandments for me were very important. Yeah, you can see I never got married again because I could not then go and commit adultery with somebody's husband once my husband passed away. Yeah, because of that, you don't do that. The ethics that we have. As Gayaza, nobody has let us down. No one has let us down. So those are some things that we got at the school that live with us for the rest of our lives. Okay, I actually have his daughter. She is now 8 years old. Wow. Yes, I would love for her to go to the Gayaza High School. My nieces have gone there, very many of them actually. Yes, and maybe you'd know Laida Mayanja, who's a motor sport person, is one of them. So I am hoping she will go there. We have only one. I have only one Mozukulu who's a girl. I have 3 boys. Yes, I'm not too sure those would be her priorities, considering she left them in Europe and came to live in. But yes, we have better climate, we have a nice place, we have better food. So maybe I'm not surprised that she came here and actually stayed for all those years. Yes, but I would wish her all the best because of what she did for us. Yes, she deserves the best that there is in heaven. No, I don't think anybody has been there. We don't really know what is there. But for Miss Cutler, only the best, yes. I did not know while I was there, but I could see she already had some people helping her at home, and she was paying school fees for a lot of the children of the girl who works for her and the son who was there. Generally girls, but also some boys. And she has continued to do that all her life. Not that she was very rich. I don't think the missionaries are very well paid. But with the little she had, she was always focusing on education. And we have a whole group of young people, well, not so young anymore, but those who were there a long time ago, who went through her hands, and they didn't have the money. We've had people, if you didn't have something, like I told you about the racket, I didn't have a racket. If I had gone home, I couldn't possibly have convinced my mother that I needed a tennis racket. So she gave me one. Luckily, I was also able to get a job. Because of my tennis, I've always been able to find a job. The companies that sponsored tennis give me jobs. So then I would make my own money. So probably I would have bought my own rackets eventually with that history of sports. But still, she gave us the tools to succeed. So those who needed money, she gave them money, gave them school fees. The rest of us needed other things. We may have had enough money. She gave us so much. I personally owe a lot to her. Yes, it's a very difficult time, and it's even more difficult for us as women. Many are employed in, they're not permanent jobs. Others are in small businesses. Many market women, many are in small businesses, which were closed. Many are in the services. Services are badly affected, except for information communication technology. But the others, if you run a salon, you've been grounded. Everybody's hair, I'm surprised your hair is actually neat.
I do have a salon at home.
Oh, you do? Lucky you. My nephews all have crazy hair and crazy beards. So yeah, the ladies who run salons have not been able to work all this time, and I don't see them working in the near future with the way COVID is going. And it has been tough at home, being locked in the house with the husband all the time and the children all the time. I am personally so tired of Zoom meetings, both my own Zoom meetings, but also the children's, my grandchildren's lessons, because they learn on Zoom. So it's really challenging to manage all that in the home. Little money, because neither the husband nor the wife was working anymore. Our traditional lack of savings. I think one thing you've all learned, ladies and gentlemen, for after COVID, keep a little bit aside. Because if you had some savings, at least you could eat. But people really couldn't even eat, and that is serious. So post-COVID, we've learned a lot. We have seen new different opportunities. We have seen borders become cargo handlers, isn't it? Yeah. Nobody ever thought they'd be the ones distributing the eggs and taking the food, and So that is a good example of, and to the ladies out there, I rode motorcycles. The border is a piece of cake. You can ride borders. So don't drop that. If it's an opportunity for you, agriculture has come out to be shining. And we know you will all need food. So as a farmer myself, I have grown. I have planted this great rainy season. We had a very nice rainy season. So to the ladies out there, go. If you have some land around you, if you have beautiful grass like this, take it out and plant spinach and dodo and what have you, so that you have food near you. And it would have been beneficial during COVID, but post-COVID, it will still be beneficial. So yes, to the ladies and the women, you have suffered, you really have. But now next time, let it find us better prepared. I have always moved with the changes in this world. I have tried to stay relevant, and definitely I will still continue to be relevant. I have a lot of knowledge that people need. I can offer it. I train young people, and I'm happy to do that, to continue doing that, but maybe differently. Maybe online, maybe, the world's going to be different, because Corona is not going away tomorrow. It's going to be different. So be willing to learn new skills. Yeah. Don't say I can't use Zoom, for example. Don't say that. It is a piece of cake. You can learn how. Just get one of these young boys and girls around, and they'll show you how to do it. Yes. So it's going to be a new world. It's an opportunity for us. We had been left behind in the, behind the Americas and the Chinas. It is our chance now to come up and compete.
Uganda Yancha.